Hey everybody, Paul Exner here. We are standing aboard my sailing vessel Solstice, a boat that I built myself from a bare hull, and this boat is totally ready to go anywhere right now. We've spent the past 5 months upgrading every critical system of this vessel to take it anywhere. This boat is ready to go to Japan and back, and we are in Hawaii right now. But this is the beginning of the heavy weather mastermind hands-on sail across the Alenuihaha Channel from Big Island to Maui in some of the most extreme conditions available to sail on Earth. And I want to show you 6 critical systems that we have aboard the boat right now that are just rock and roll ready. Those critical systems are human critical systems, sailing vessel critical systems, life support critical systems, auxiliary propulsion, navigation, and a plan. You got to have a plan. Let's look at how the boat is ready to go, and we're going to just dive into these systems a little bit one at a time. So come on, let's take a look. First of all, we have an anchoring system which is part of our running rigging operation. This is the Simpson Lawrence Sea Tiger 555, ready to rock and roll. 65 feet of 3/8 inch chain, 300 feet of 5/8 inch 3-strand nylon, and it is fully serviced. In fact, I have an entire backup one of these down below. If this were to fail, I could swap this one out and put an entire new windlass in, like snapping my fingers, and have it done in about 20 minutes. Okay, let's keep looking at what we've got. The refit we've done has been incredible. We redid all of the non-skid here on the deck using a Valspar product, and it has it's a linear polyurethane with an actuator to make it extra hard. And we took glass beads, shook the glass beads on top, and rolled it all ourselves. This is all a brand new non-skid deck, super ready to go, so nobody slips and falls off in heavy weather. We also refinished all the woodwork. Now the woodwork is not a critical system, however, it adds to the longevity of the boat. It isn't necessarily aesthetics. You don't want the wood to degrade, especially the bowsprit, which is an integral component because it's actually a wooden spar that enables the boat to go sailing. All the wood is refinished. I use 3 types of finishes on the boat. We use a regular spar varnish. I'm using Penofin for the cap rails, and back there the coaming caps, the dorades, the forward hatch, those are all used with Penofin, and then we use a Cetal. The Cetal is actually used for the forward hatch and the brow itself. Okay, let's look at some of the running rigging systems, some of the sailing critical systems. Here we go. Brand new main sheet, 1/2 inch Stay Set X. The old running rigging is still working fine. We have a brand new staysail halyard. Spinnaker halyard is good to go. These are our reefing lines right over here. And they're plugged in just to kind of give an example of what they look like. Over here on this side, I have the primary halyard for the Yankee, which is the Yankee sail flown off the bowsprit. This is a cutter rig. And we have a topping lift right here. This is the topping lift for the mainsail boom. And we'll get the camera to come around this side, and I want to show you the Storm Trysail track that is ready to rock and roll. And now this boat is fully equipped for anything. Storm Trysail track, I have one down below. I'm going to show it to you. We actually have the sheet blocks all ready to go on Dyneema loops that we can run through the hawse pipes in the back. I'll show you that in a minute. And all the equipment is ready. At a moment's notice, if we get 50, 60 knots of breeze coming in the Alenuihaha Channel, we just plug this baby in and we can have it ready to roll in about 5 to 10 minutes, ready to deploy. All right, let's keep taking a look back. Enable us to get to shore, we have a Mercury Hypalon inflatable dinghy with a high pressure floor, all rolled up and just lashed in here for heavy weather. On a 31-foot Cape George, what this boat is, you don't have a lot of space, so you try to optimize the equipment you bring aboard and the space. You want to look for space-saving solutions as often as you can. And she's all wrapped up and ready to go. It'll bring us to shore for a little dinner once we make it across the Alenuihaha Channel over there in Maui. Okay. All the winches have been serviced and re-greased. These are Lumar 48 Ocean Series stainless steel proper winches, properly sized to be able to move sails in and out. These are Lumar 40s. These are our operational winches in the cockpit. This is actually a primary winch, and it runs our Yankee sail, our big powerful sail off the front of the boat. All of these winches are completely resurfaced, reserviced and ready to rock and roll. We did notice that one of the cogs in here was flaking out, and we had to replace that, and we did. Bought a new part from Lumar, popped it in, and she is ready to rock and roll. Up here we've got, these are our running backstays, and the running backstays are just all set up. They are 3-to-1, and they are run through here at the hawse pipe with these super cool Dyneema loops. These Dyneema loops have a 3-foot circumference, and in that 3-foot circumference as a loop, we can just simply run it right through the hawse pipe and connect in our running backstay. The sheets for the Storm Trysail are very much the same way. I can run in the, oh boy, guys are having a lot of fun out here today. Looks like the government operating their boat needs to get a better pilot. The guy doesn't know how to run the boat down the channel. You can get a license, still doesn't mean you know what you're doing. All right, so right here, this is a really, really nice setup. We have it run on a 3-to-1, and the purpose for this 3-to-1 is so that when you simply take up the slack and the tension on the running backstay, it isn't to bend the mast or to control the mast. It's the 3-to-1 is purely to take the slack out of it, because this is actually a Dyneema line. This is a cord Dyneema line as well, and with all of this anti-stretch material we're using, we need some means of taking the slack out so that we can provide the appropriate tension. All right, they're rigged up and ready for the crew to take a look at when they show up tomorrow. We have a monitor wind vane system that is just ready to rock and roll. It has been fully reserviced. We have a really good relationship with Scanmar, the manufacturer of the monitor wind vane, and they've taken care of us very well. We had some chafing on some of the control lines in the very long journey we made from the Caribbean to Hawaii, and they just sent us out some new bigger shivs, popped them in. It's ready to go. All brand new control lines. We've tested it over the past couple weeks, and the wind vane is working perfectly. As part of our standing rigging setup right here, we actually have a Dyneema backstay on a 32-to-1 purchase to provide the appropriate tension instead of a turnbuckle. 4-to-1 main sheet. The blocks are made by Garhauer, and it's running here on a 7/16 inch sheet. It's a really good setup. Here's our topping lift. Topping lift comes down, holds up the back end of the boom, and that's that blue line I showed you at the mast. And then this is part of our preventer system. I welded in these tangs and ran some Dyneema straps through the boom right here so that we can use this portion of the preventer line to attach to a deck level portion, and this runs from the end of the boom, and the deck level portion runs from the very, very front of the boat, and we can provide really good leverage against the mainsail boom so that it doesn't swing around at all. We've even dipped the boat so far before and put the boom in the water, and it's just rock solid with this setup. Not that we want to sail in those conditions, but when we are in those conditions, the boat can handle it just fine. Okay. Over here we actually have our furling line. This is the furling line for the Yankee sail, and runs all the way forward. Up here we didn't have a chance to look at this before, but I want to show you where the running rigging sits in the idle position. Basically put a piece of webbing here against the upper shroud turnbuckle, and I've got our main halyard, spinnaker halyard, and staysail halyard all run into one piece of webbing, so it's ready to go at a moment's notice. and really, really tidy. And this is where the halyards sit when we're waiting to use them to go sailing. Okay, let's take a look down below and see what we've got down there. All right. This is down below Solstice, the Cape George 31 that I built myself from a bare hull. Built everything in here you see. The interior layout is very much like the traditional layout goes, with the measurements, the space, the living space, just optimized for the way I like it. For example, I'm 6'2" tall, and I've got just a little bit of headroom here, and I can stand fully up. Great feature of this boat for offshore sailing, and something that makes me feel really safe to take it in the deep ocean, is how narrow she is, and I can easily grab onto the handholds down below and have both hands holding onto the boat should she start to roll around. The first section you come into down below is the working area, and we have a nav desk, we have a galley area, and this countertop runs all the way underneath here. This next area, this is the saloon area where we sleep and bunk, and we run the lee cloths all the time. So the lee cloths are set up. The cushions are actually up and out of the way so that we can set equipment here if we need to while we're working and getting the boat ready. And as I mentioned, this boat is ready to depart tomorrow. And this is kind of what it looks like when you're ready to rock and roll. So these are our cool lee cloths. Whoever gets this bunk also gets a cubby. And I'll show you that cubby right over here. Here's a cubby to store all your personal items. And also up here in the alcove area with some books, we've installed these super cool bungee cords that are removable. And you can put your duffel bag up in there for additional equipment that you want to store and gain easy access to. It's cool, you can actually put this up with one hand. A little bit of the sail inventory sitting here at the ready because we're going to use it tomorrow. Here's our storm trysail, our regular staysail, and then we have a storm jib as well. The tools aboard Solstice, here it is. Here's the toolkit. We have two bags. This is sort of the ready hand tool bag, and down below I have bigger items. I even have a portable vise that I carry in there, as well as a 3-pound hammer and other large equipment that doesn't stow readily accessible in the top tool case. It's very well organized, has everything I need, including some tools that I use to build the boat. They're all in here still sailing with me. Okay. I want to show you something really cool back here in the work area. These are our drop boards, and we've attached a means to lash the drop board down should the boat experience a knockdown. Am I concerned about a knockdown? I am. This is not just something I read in the book that I decided to do. Like, we're staring the Alanui Haha channel in the face, making a go, no-go decision, and you're looking at a boat that can make or facilitate a go, no-go decision. She's ready, and when you belly up to a decision like that, you know you're living life because you're staring it right in the face. So this is pretty cool right here. Let me show you how this rigs up. We even installed a line right here, so if you're down below, you can open the hatch. This is the bottom. Drop board slides right in. Top drop board slides right in. And I put a cleat right down here. There we go. I'll lash that in. With this closed, it even secures the drop boards from the top as well. And now our super cool lanyard to open it if we need to. Every little detail is thought out about how to operate and sail the boat. And this boat is about sailing. This boat is not about sitting on the dock. Although I have to say, it's one of the coolest boats to sit on the dock on because it's handmade. The thing can go anywhere. It's not just, polished for sitting around the dock. It's a sailing machine, and man, can this boat sail. Okay, let's take a look forward. We have a super large locker right here. I don't know if the camera can come in and take a look at that, but there's enough room to store 3 extra duffel bags in here. But the team, when they come aboard the boat, they will disassemble their storage layout and they'll move their items around the boat so that they can live out of the boat. Some people like to live fully out of a duffel bag and a backpack. You can do that too. But we've organized the interior space here to make it more efficient to live aboard the boat. Specialized cubbies for specialized items, including the locker back there where we're going to stow our foul weather gear and our harnesses. Okay, here's our head. This is a Levac toilet. This toilet works extremely well. It works on the vacuum principle. It's just enough space to use it offshore. And in heavy seas, you need to use a head. This is one of the best heads to use because it's small enough you can brace yourself instead of getting thrown across the cabin. And when you sail extreme conditions, the sailors are constantly working back and forth between, should I use the toilet? Should I not use the toilet? And you're monitoring your hydration levels to use the toilet or not use the toilet. Because if you drink more water to stay more hydrated, you have to use the toilet more often. Toilets are an important part of sailing. The big spacious toilets where the thing looks all ergonomic, like it does on the boat show floor with the toilet sitting diagonal in there. You can't sit on those things in a seaway. In the marina, great. But offshore, no. This is a proper offshore head. All right, let's take a look forward here. The forward cabin also has lee cloths. And I can simply clip these down to gain access to this area. There's lots of storage underneath here. All the spare water is stored here. And this is our sail inventory storage right behind this lee cloth. It's super cool how I've overlapped these 2 lee cloths because this one helps hold the sails in. But I can drop it down and pull the sails out pretty easily. Super well organized, and everything's in here with little clips. Super nice little cabin up here. Although, as in any sailboat, when you try to live aboard a boat, living in the ends of the boat, the back ends or the front ends, are the hardest because that's where the most motion is experienced. And this is true in this bunk as well. It's a lovely bunk, but if the boat's pitching a lot, you're going to be tossed around. The best bunks in the boat are back here in the saloon. Let's come back and take another look at them. Oh yeah, I should mention here, there is a privacy curtain to get into the head, so you can have some privacy. Okay, now these bunks, let me just quickly demonstrate how this would set yourself up if you needed to get into it. These are pillows. We'll put pillowcases on them. Simply slide down this cushion and I can get in from either end. When I designed these, I put the lee cloth off to the side so that I could actually sit down here. But if you need to get in there, this is how you do it. Grab on. Of course, you'd probably take your shoes off. Ready for some rest. Look how you get out. Just grab up here. Pull yourself right out of the bunk. Now, if I'm coming on watch, just got out of the bunk, if we're running with a team of 4 on Solstice, the off-watch crew would be able to hot bunk. If we have fewer crew members, each person has their own bunk. We run with really small groups. I run with myself and 2 sailors. At the most I ever run is myself and 3 sailors. And that's for the heavier, longer trips. Mostly we don't have to hot bunk, but if we did, people can work in and out of this space. The person whose bunk, this is the primary bunk, gets this cubby. The secondary person who's hot bunking would then gain access to have their storage equipment up top. It works really well in organization. If I'm coming on watch, I'd come up here, open up this locker right here, and in here I can grab my harness. We have all the harnesses stowed right down in here. All the harnesses, life jackets, boots, everything would be stowed down there. That's essentially our wet locker. Okay guys, I'm really excited. This has been a really brief tour, just showing you some of the items that we have aboard Solstice that we're about to go and use and go sailing on a super cool trip across the Ala Nui. And really appreciate you guys being here watching this video. Hit the subscribe button if you want to check out more videos I create. And guess what? Tomorrow, less than 24 hours, the team's going to be aboard this boat. We're shoving off. We're going to go do some real deal sailing. Until next time, everybody, aloha from Paul Exner.